Wagwan, everybody. I am your Jamaican Queen, Miss Y. You are tuned into How I See It TV, and this is Why Caught Alive. Y'all, Messy Mondays was super messy. And I'm talking about Carlos King's Monday night live stream where he talks about his reality shows and he also dives into some other odd topics. And Carlos is always trying to gag everybody with his panelists or with takes that he has concerning scenes on these reality TV shows. But on Monday night, during Messy Mondays, he was gagged. And I know he might say that's not the truth, but what I observed is that Aikisha dropped a bomb on Carlos during that live stream. And y'all, I want to talk about it. I want to give my commentary on it. But before we get into it, please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd, subscribe if you have not done so as yet, follow me on Instagram and Twitter now called X at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. This video may contain copyrighted material. The use of such material is for criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research, and falls under fair use provisions of Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976.
His own shy, Aikisha. He didn't interrupt your interview with me.
Yes, he can. You can answer his question, and I'm gonna say what I have to say, and that's it.
Well, I have more questions for you. I love you, baby. Listen, Willie, the most important question.
So, y'all, as I was watching this back, I realized that Aikisha, she popped onto that screen to stand on business. She was ready. See, Carlos was laughing. He was being funny. He was throwing his little shade. And maybe it was innocent or maybe passive aggressively. He was really telling her how he felt. And that was, he had no questions for her. And he didn't really want her to be a part of this interview that he was doing with Willie. And he was laughing. And I saw this look on Aikisha's face as I'm watching it back. And the look said, go ahead and laugh, because I promise you, you won't be finding ish funny in a second. And y'all gonna see, if you never saw it before or if you're watching it again, you're going to see what I mean when Aikisha basically said, Carlos, who laughs last, laughs
So,
the best.
before I let you guys go, can you update us on everything going on with Ferris Street, your foundation, and all the many things you have going on?
Yes, I mean it's all out there. The foundation's doing well. This is busy season for us. We just finished our Christmas in the Bronx, where we do a huge toy giveaway to Willie's community of the South Bronx at the NYCHA Classic Center, which is right in the projects where he was born and raised in Melrose Projects. We're getting ready for our HBCU College Fair. Also for our health fair that's going to be in Jackson, Mississippi. So Sophia and I are coming together to do the second annual health fair, and we have some panelists, and we're doing a brunch, and we are focusing on heart health, vascular health, and menopause health. And it's in February, so it's going to be amazing because so Gucci's mom died of a heart attack along with cancer. My mother died of a massive heart attack. Her twin sister died of a heart attack. Willie's mom had a heart attack associated with lupus and lost her. And then her twin sister died in the beginning of the year. So we are really focusing on women's heart health, vascular health, and correlating how menopause associates with heart health. Yeah. So we're going to do that. And but
Aikisha said, well, I thought you didn't have any questions for me, Carlos. Well, since you asked, let me run down all the real ish that I got going on. Let me run down the real black excellence that we got going on over here since you asked.
But anyway, I just wanted to step in. I am excited that Belle Collective has been picked up for another season. I got my pickup letter, and
I know that's right.
we were excited about that, and we want to congratulate Carlos, and we want to congratulate the show, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of the platform.
So right there, y'all, Aikisha and Willie, they gave a masterclass in let me hype you up before I gotta humble you real quick.
But unfortunately, we will not be returning. So just wanted to say that the colognes are done.
Mic drop. Mic drop. He wasn't ready. Dustin wasn't ready. Jazz wasn't ready. Carlos froze. He did not know that Aikisha was going to say all of that. But guess what? She absolutely did. And it was iconic. I tell you, iconic.
So thank
Oh
y'all and Merry
man.
Christmas. I and our attorney has sent a letter to the attorneys of Kinhdom Reign. So just want to let y'all know because I didn't want Carlos to find out any other way.
Now, when she said, I just wanted to let y'all know, and I didn't want Carlos to find out in any other way, how I see it, what Aikisha meant was, I always planned on doing this on your public YouTube platform because I wanted everybody to know that I wasn't fired. I got my pickup letter and I quit. You're not going to run around and change the narrative, and the other bells aren't going to change the narrative
Well, listen,
either.
thank you so much for everything you brought to the show. You know, you
Thank
have
you.
Absolutely.
a friend in me, a
Wow.
family in me as well. And anything you guys need, let me know. And as you know, anytime you want to return, the door will always be open for you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for having
Carlos.
us. Merry Christmas to everybody and thank you for
Same
And
to
much love to
you.
your
It was
beautiful
so good
All
family,
seeing you
y'all.
guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see how he dropped them hella quick? He dropped them from his panel so quickly because he, in my opinion, was upset. See, he might have known that they were not going to be returning because they probably, he probably got the letter from their attorneys already, so he was aware of that. But I don't think that he expected them to announce it and not on his platform. And I'm sure he didn't expect them to make an announcement until after the reunion. And in my opinion, he gave them a bunch of empty platitudes, like, the door is always open and all of that. And even when he said, the door is always open, he is making a statement in the affirmative, but he nodded no. So as he was saying, the door is always open, his mouth is saying yes. He nodded no, the door is not open because, in my opinion, Carlos was upset that they announced their exit and basically quit on his live.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, they
Monday night, y'all.
Was that
Monday Night Live.
did,
That was an exclusive.
oh,
Yep. That was the
I'm
message this Monday. That was the
I'm
message.
gooped and
That's
gagged.
Monday.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How do I react? I didn't know if he. What? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Well,
All
so the
right.
funny thing is, this is a reality show. Carlos
Yes.
has built a beautiful empire following the reality, and what we just saw was the reality of that situation. So kudos to everybody, and Carlos is a consummate professional, as we see, and that's how we handled that with grace. And shout out to the Colones, a beautiful family that
Yes. No, they're a
we got a
gorgeous
chance to get to
family.
know. Yeah.
Yes. No,
Shout out to Dustin who helped save Carlos in that moment because Carlos did not know what to say. He was doing his nervous laughter. Again, I'm not a body language expert, but he was rocking, back and forth because he was trying to self-soothe. He was trying to figure out how to pivot, and Dustin helped him to do just that. All right, y'all. So let's pivot a little because Willie and JJ, they have a show on YouTube called The Willi Show with JJ. And during their latest episode, Willie and JJ, they talked about the Belle Collective finale episode and that, altercation that happened. And they also talked about, well, JJ also shared, the exact reason for himself and Aikisha walking away from Belle Collective. Now, I'm not going to play the video in its entirety because y'all should definitely go to Willie's and JJ's video and watch it in its entirety. But I wanted to give my commentary on some of the things that they touched on during the episode. So here we go. Listen.
Push along. I also realize that, as I mentioned, when you go into reality TV, you have to have goals, right? And when your goals and your brand aren't in line with what you're doing, you have to reassess about what you is it worth it or not, for you and your family. So we move along. As we push through this past season, I realized that this show, Valid, it did kind of give us a new audience. It did put us in a new light. We weren't in line with the family goals. We weren't in line with our goals, and we weren't in line with what I felt God is calling us to do. One of the things that's troubling about being a part of reality TV is sometimes you don't control your narrative.
And that's right. You're right, because there's a lot on there that doesn't get showed and said that we actually say and do.
Correct. And so it gets cut for the sake of entertainment and to build storylines. But there's so much that happens. There's so much that gets left on the edit room floor when you finally see the final product. You're like, man, the reason I did this is because this happened, right? Or the reason this was said because this happened, and the audience only gets to see this part of it. So you could either be made the villain or the hero, or you could just be seen out of pocket, and it kind of builds. Fine, that's TV.
And what Willie and JJ are saying in this moment is something that I've heard a lot of reality TV stars say, that a lot of times as you're watching reality TV, a lot of things that you're witnessing is being shown out of context. And I am so sick and tired of fans of reality TV not understanding that. And also the fans of reality TV who only believe one side of the narrative. So for example, if one person is being painted as the victim or they're being painted as the victor in a scene, then a lot of fans, if that person is a fan favorite, then fans are going to believe that narrative. Whereas the person who's being painted as the villain, if they're not a fan favorite, then fans are going to believe the narrative that this person is actually the villain in the scene, when in reality, it's the editors that are trying to paint that story or trying to write that particular narrative. But let's continue to listen to what JJ and Willie had to talk about as it relates to Belle Collective, that finale scene or that finale episode, and also what went down on Carlos King's YouTube channel on Monday night when they quit the show.
But to fast forward, man, the narratives of that we came there with 15 people to unalive people, which is so dumb. For everybody that supports us and continue to support us, me and my wife did not orchestrate a goddamn cartel.
And it definitely wasn't y'all event.
Right, to come mess up Cliff and Latrice's event. We also didn't come there to do anything other than to attend the event and go home. What do we get out of messing up an event that has nothing to do with
And to be
us?
honest with you, Big Willie, before you go any farther, I remember the goddamn recording. I don't know who got it, but your niece, Aikisha family, they was on the floor dancing, having a great goddamn time.
I wish we could find
down there doing that. I mean, they was having a ball.
I wish I could find that
stuff
footage.
did not start until Cliff and goddamn Glenn started that stuff, because they was out celebrating, drinking, and dancing. Matter of fact, dancing with them too, having a great time.
So I wish we had footage of that, because I wish they would show footage, because prior to the melee, if you will, my wife, Aikisha, her niece, Latrice, her people, they're all getting down on the dance floor, shaking their asses, having a good time, laughing. It was more fun than ugly.
So I had to interject here because I don't know how many of y'all know this, but Latrice and Letitia Pearson from Belle Collective, they both did a joint live on Friday night after the episode aired, where I guess they were trying to clear the air, do some damage control. And during that live, Letitia says that Aikisha brought people to Latrice's Taste, open to unalive her. And during that Instagram live, I asked in the chat, like, Letitia, you're saying this as if it's fact. Are you saying that you know for a fact that Aikisha brought people to the event to unalive you? And Letitia says, yes, she knows this for a fact, that is what happened. And I don't know. I just kept saying, I call BS on all of that, because I don't see Aikisha doing that. Let me make that clear. So, and also the video that they are referring to, if y'all go to Millichan's Instagram, you will see Millichan post a short clip of that same event, where before, I guess, filming started for that particular scene where things started to go left, everybody was actually having a great time. So the narrative that Letitia Pearson and Latrice, they tried to put out there on that Instagram live, it just does not make any sense. So I'm glad that Willie touched on that, especially the part where Aikisha is being accused of bringing people to the event to quote unquote unalive Letitia. Ridiculous.
It was something that we talked about. It was something that we felt that was necessary, and we felt like we were distracted and we were off course as a family. I'm very adamant, my wife, and I will continue to support my wife in everything she does, but this woman believes in Jackson, Mississippi. This woman spends time fighting and talking to people who can make moves and change Jackson, and she wants to be a part of it, and she wants to spearhead it. We can't continue to talk to law enforcement. We can't continue to walk in the state, to talk to senators and politicians and community leaders and talk about bringing Jackson back on his feet if we're on TV fighting and representing the negative side of Jackson. Belle Collective was supposed to be about Black couples with businesses bringing the best to Jackson. And we felt like after everything we endured, after everything that has occurred, we were off that. And we didn't like the image we were portraying. I didn't like how we were moving as a family. And I told my wife after that incident that happened, I said, babe, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. This isn't who we are. This is not what we signed up for. We are better than this, individually and collectively. And I watched this woman bring Ferris Street Festival to Jackson 2 years back to back.
Yes.
I watched this woman lose sleep. I watched this woman go into our own bank account to bring Jackson on his feet, to
Yes.
show Jackson that there is hope. That I watch this woman. So when I see this woman fight and scrap and get on the phone and bring people and entertainers and people who are elite at their craft and in their business
Yes.
to Jackson to bring life into a community that needs it, that desperately needs it. People think about Jackson as a dying city, and my wife is fighting tooth and nail to bring and change the perception of Jackson because
and doing a damn good job.
Right. Her family has been on Ferris Street for over 100 years. Her family has been a part of the thread of Jackson for so long. That woman is ultra passionate about Jackson. And what we exude and what we trying to do don't match. And you have to stand and believe in something. And if you believe in something, how you walk and how you talk all have to match. It all has to be in a line. And we have to allow God to work. And for God to work, we have to have faith in him. And we got to do the work on ourselves to make sure we're aligning what we're trying to do with him. And we were out of alignment. And that is as clear cut as I can say it. I don't have any negative words for Cliff and Glenn because at the end of the day, it's not about them. Seriously. It's about my wife, our family, and what we're trying to do and the legacy we're trying to build. I told you, Jay, this on camera and off the camera, on the phone, off the phone. You and Gucci are the best thing that happened to Aikisha and I.
I must say the same thing. Verse vice
Straight up,
Willie.
Right.
Vice
so
versa.
I'm not trying to be mushy about it. I believe that through and through. So what's next for the Clones? What's next is for us is to continue to serve and fight to be a pillar in Jackson, not only in Jackson, but here in New York and the Bronx, for us to promote a healthy, positive, loving, fun family image and brand. And on top of that, show folks that if you stay true to yourself and committed to what you want to be, you never have to worry, right? You got to stand for something. And what we stand for is positivity, love, and excellence overall. And I think, and I got to say this isn't a knock on Carlos. I thank you, Carlos, for giving us an opportunity. We will not sit here and play victim to what has happened. What we will say is you gave us an opportunity. We feel like the opportunity was worth it at the time. As of right now, we're not in alignment. So we have to leave and we have to stand on that. And we got to believe where we're going and what we're going to do. We got to give it to God and we got to move forward, and we will. So for everybody that wants to check out the live, check out Carlos's live. Thank you, Carlos. I'm pretty sure he may feel some type of way, which is fine. But right now, Aikisha and I have to do what's best for our family. And I also think we also want to let people know you got to stand for what you believe in, even if it costs you fame, even if it costs you whatever you're seeking from vanity, right?
And if you go to their YouTube channel and watch the entire video, JJ, he gives his reaction to, what Aikisha did during Carlos King's live. And at the end of the video, Willie basically says that Belle Collective, it does not align with their core values and their brand. It was a great episode of their show. So if y'all haven't seen it, please go watch it in its entirety, y'all. And I would also like to add that I feel like Carlos King, he quote unquote lives for the mess too much. I think at some point, as the producer of a TV show, if you continue to say that these shows are supposed to be about Black excellence, then you have to do a better job at showcasing that. Aikisha listed off so many things that she was doing for not just her community of Jackson, but also in the neighborhood that her husband was raised in. And we haven't seen that in the 2 seasons that Aikisha and Willie have been on the show. We haven't really seen any of that. They started off talking about how they were trying to revitalize that area of Jackson, Mississippi, and we have not seen much of that being showcased on the show. And I'm speaking about the Bells in general. We haven't really seen much of that revitalization of, was it Ferris Street in Jackson, Mississippi, similar to Love and Marriage Huntsville. They started off talking about how they were trying to do a comeback group and how they were trying to revitalize North Huntsville. And we have not seen much of that since season 1 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So Carlos, he has to find a better way to strike a balance. I recall at the beginning of the Belle Collective season, him talking about this altercation, and he just was just so excited for the world to see it. It was like, it's gonna be, if we were shocked by what happened at the Madani relaunch, then we just need to wait with bated breath for what's going to happen for the season finale of Belle Collective. And honestly, it was not anything great. When you listen to Willie and how he talked about it, he does not want to see himself depicted that way on TV. He doesn't want to see any Black person, walking in that stereotype that we cannot deal with conflicts in a better way. But I'll say this, that when you have a production company, in my opinion, that's putting you in situations where you will have to stand up and, defend yourself in certain ways, then you really have to rethink if that's the type of show you want to be a part of. And that is what Willie and Aikisha did. They said this show is not aligned with our brand or our goals, so we gotta walk away. And so hats off to them for making this decision, because what they're doing in real life, the real life work that they're doing, the real life Black excellence that they are walking in, they don't need Belle Collective or Kinhdom Reign Entertainment to continue to do the amazing work that they've already been doing. And that's just how I see it. So thank you for tuning in, y'all. And as always, drop down in the comment section below and let me know how you see things too. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you have not done so as yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. Until my next video, walk good. Bye.